I'm all right.
Oh, buongiorno, everyone. Sorry for the delay.
Technical difficulties.
Corona
Not easy
issues.
being cheesy.
It's not. We're right on time. It's half time, and the Man City are still giving it. So
How's
good
this
timing,
happening
really.
now?
I've just put it on there. Just gotten from work. Just put it on, and I seen it. Sterling just scored 1-0. First goal back since Project Restart.
Aye, because Sheffield United aren't allowed to score these days, apparently.
Aye, because the guy who does the goal line system is still on furlough. Corona cancel goal line technology, like.
Aye, no, that's an absolute liberty. That like, did you see it now, man?
I just seen that picture that got put in the group chat. How the hell is that not a goal? Like,
I seen the clip. There was a free kick whipped in. The keeper caught it at the back post, but he like just fell behind the line. I think like one of his defenders was in front of him. He tried to go in front, but he just fell behind the line. He wasn't even quick in getting back forward. He had the ball quite clearly behind the line for about 2-3 seconds, and I like just wasn't given. Fucking madness, man.
I'm sure it happened before half time though, and everyone was going on about it at half time. So they should have looked at that at half time and then just went, cock that one up a little bit. It's 1-0 second half.
Yeah, no shit. Fucking hell. Absolute liberty. I feel sorry for Sheffield, but I'm quite pleased that they were both a little bit shit because they're both our next 2 games.
Confident getting them 6 points now,
A little bit, after that shit show. I didn't even watch most of it, to be fair. I couldn't even be fucking arsed. I just thought, when they crowd and the atmosphere, Aston Villa and Sheffield United, it's not really that good a game. I haven't really missed football that much.
Could be worse, Could have been stuck away. But I turned my Sky Go on there when I got in, and it's automatic crowd settings for me, so I can't even turn it off on the PlayStation. So it just sounds like a normal game, to be fair, with obviously the banners over the seats and that.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. Oh, yeah, I like that. That looked a little bit better. I suppose, decorate the stadium a little bit instead of showing loads of empty seats.
It looks a lot better.
I suppose that looks a bit better. I don't know what Toon's plans are. It'd be classed, with Mike actually still being there, that war flags wouldn't get involved. But, imagine, if, war flags just draping out the stadium, when they won there, I think it would look sick as fuck.
They're going to advertise the food bank, that charity, isn't it, aren't they? At St. James's Park, so that's good crack.
Oh, yeah, of course they are, right. Yeah. As long as they're filling it with something instead of just empty seats, especially St. James's Park's shit, pale grey seats.
So, how did you feel when you woke this morning and heard that the Tuna got another buyer to choose from? A Yank. I'm keeping the American theme running here. I got the Bulls jersey in the background. He's still from California. He's still not from Chicago or Miami. Everything but California.
I was already at work. I was on an early shift this morning, so I got the notification through just before I went on my break from Keith Downey's tweet. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. I was like,
not again.
I was like, I don't even know where to go with this. Obviously, it's all anyone at work's been talking about for the last couple of months. Everyone's like, oh, what's the latest? What's the updates and that? And I'm just fucking sick of it every fucking day. We've got an Arsenal fan and a Sunderland fan at work. Every single day, they're like, what's the latest? What's the latest? I'm like, oh, fuck off, man. I can't be arsed today. But I seen that just before I was getting a break, and I was like, oh no. So I walk in the canteen area, and one of the Toon fans who now is taxed to us every day, but it's I just looked at him, I just gave him a look, and he's like, what? I think he thought I was gonna say it's done, the deal's done. And I was like, nah, got someone else interested now. So, it's happening all over again. Absolutely lovely. Jesus Christ.
Just imagine if the Saudi deal falls through, and then obviously it goes to this Yank. We have to wait another 11 weeks, and we're in this position again for another 3 months.
Fuck.
Where every day you're waiting for an update, every day you're getting asked questions, every day you don't have a stinking clue what's going on.
I've just been saying, for the last couple of months, the sooner the better. Just a word, just any kind of official notification instead of just journalist rumors and fan base on Twitter telling you what they think they know, the people in the know when they're not. Just as long as somebody official from either Newcastle or the Premier League just came out and said, look, this is the crack, that would do. Just as long as we just know something, just kind of any indication of when it may get done. I'm not even expecting it to say oh, it's going to be done now. Even if they say all right, it is real, it is official, it might take a couple of months. That's good enough as long as like there's like an official mention of it. Like,
we know the end is 9. It's a good end.
Yeah,
not a bad end in the movie.
It's kind of be asked for. It's like this will go down in history as one of the most fucking topsy-turvy, mental, backwards roller coasters of a takeover ever. Like,
obviously, it would only be Newcastle United.
Obviously, especially like during the times like we've all been in lockdown, so these like last like 9 weeks or whatever it's been felt like so much longer. Every day's felt like a week, or weeks felt like a month. They were just waiting for so long, and now like it could just get blown all open again. Like we've been waiting on the that report that came out yesterday. Like that's all like I've been looking for. So that came out. It seemed kind of positive. It wasn't. I don't think it was negative. But straight after that, I thought, all right, this could be a window of opportunity. Like there was no real mention of it, so it could now go ahead. This could be the green light. But obviously, this morning this came through. It's like, oh, nah, can't be dealing with this, man.
It's just too much. It's too much now, man. You want news on what's going on, not what could go on. Like a whole another bid, £50 million more. It just doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Like I've got any idea what. I'm almost like lost for words now. Like being a Newcastle fan, you feel like you've seen everything, but you're never not surprised. Like some shit always comes up, and you think, really, we're kind of going through here again. Oh, Jesus Christ, man! So yeah, like I don't really know what to make of it. Like I've heard this guy's a bit of a fucking Wolf of Wall Street, really. Like, not really in a good way. It means like his business is completely. That sounds good if he turns St James's Park into that. Like, but
who does everywhere?
Newcastle United sponsored by prostitutes.
Who does arena?
Well, apparently like the FBI is investigating him, and apparently like his business isn't legit, and people are saying like don't take it too seriously because it would never happen anyway. But like, why have we just got to deal with so many illegal people? Like, if one's not illegally streaming, one's got an illegal business, one's getting investigated by the WHO, the other's investigated by the FBI. Like, for fuck's sake, could I just have a legit owner, someone who can stick on one side of the law, who's less a prick than Mike Ashley? Like, so that person seems really, really hard to find, and I didn't think it would.
Yeah, well, it does when you're a billionaire.
Billionaires have to be bellends.
You think of Mike Ashley, he's always in the shit now with the courts, isn't he? And all the bad stuff with sports direct and the employee treatment and dodgy books and everything. So, kind of getting outright.
No, sick. Can't believe it, man. But, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I'm not really worried too much. I think you can look at the positive is at least if the Saudi takeover does fall through, which at the minute I don't think that it will. But if it does, at least we know we've got people in the wings. We've got people wanting it. There's been rumors of like a couple of other people as well. So this American guy probably isn't the only one sniffing around waiting for it to be cancelled so they can jump in and try and take over. So I suppose that's one positive thing you can take about it. But it's going to feel like a massive step down because the Saudis just seem like the ultimate, didn't they? Like they're like richer than anybody. Like they could take us into a whole new stratosphere. So take like any other billionaire that's willing to invest is good. It's an improvement on Mike Ashley, but from what we thought we had, from what we could have, it's going to be a step down. It's going to be like it was like in the palm of our hands and we've let it slip. Like, all right, Mike Ashley's gone. That's all we really, really wanted. But we could have been like the richest club in the world and had like a great future ahead of it. But as long as the deal goes through, like.
But that's it, because if it was the American that broke first, we'd all be buzzing. We'd be thinking, yes, finally getting taken over. But now I know that we've been on the cusp of the richest in the world. It's going to feel like a bit of a blow in it. But as long as Ashley's out, and they kind of get much worse than him, kind of. So we'll still take him down at the door, like.
No, 100%.
Right, let's get into the Q&A then. Who's got the questions? I can't see them, me.
All right, we'll just get the first one up. Callum Lewis. Will Joelinton play better without the pressure of crowd on Sunday? I think so.
100. I mean, you've seen it already. And that's only been against the likes of Middlesbrough, but he scored, what, was it 2-2, 3-3, if you include the one with the first team played each other. So I think he's definitely going to do better without fucking Big Dave in the crowd shouting your shit, you wasted 40 million, get the fuck off the pitch, you useless prick. But he's going to do much better without the pressure of that on. I think he'll feel it. I think it's going to be a strange one though when football comes back, because there's no pressure on referees, there's no pressure on fans. It's going to be a completely different. I think it's going to lack intensity, and I think from
there's
the
going to be a
Villa
little bit of
Sheffield
pressure on
United
Michael
game,
Oliver now.
the Villa Sheffield United game, what I saw, it did feel like a pre-season camp, a pre-season tournament, and it's been that way for the Bundesliga. It's a bit boring, I think. So, apart from against Newcastle, I think I'll still get up for it. But I think Joey will do a lot better without having the pressure of 50,000 fans on his back, and even rightfully so. Though when we were at Rochdale away, it was fucking terrible, and it was the effort that we didn't see when we were on his back there. He's not going to have that. He can miss 2 or 3 chances without the crowd there, and he won't. He won't get shit thrown at him. He won't have the pressure on his back. So I think he'll do in the world of good.
Yeah, I think that Rochdale game was like the peak. I think like after that, like he got so much stick, like us included. Like everyone in that stadium was kicking off because he was shit, and he deserved the stick. But I think from there he realized. I think he heard the fans, and like I don't think he's had a not great games, but I don't think he's had like a really bad game since. I think like that was the kick up the arse that he really needed, and he thought, I need to pull my finger at my arse here, because like especially being Rochdale, like he's a £40 million player. I'm not going to use the term striker. He's a £40 million player, and he's playing League One Rochdale, and he was probably the worst player on that pitch.
Literally.
Yeah, and I think from there he thought, I need to up my game here. Like this is getting beyond a joke, and like I think he's getting more comfortable now. I think he's learnt the language quite well. Obviously, you had that phone call with him a few weeks ago, and we were told he doesn't speak English, but seemed all right to be fair. Like his English is improving. He's got his family over here now, which he didn't in the first few months. So he's probably a lot more settled, getting to learn the city. Got his family, so he's comfortable, and he's starting to pick up the language. So yeah, I think he'll finally come good. He still needs to be played in the right position or used in the right way. I think he can play up front as long as he's got help. But in that 5 at the back formation where he's isolated up top, it's never going to work. I don't think Shearer could score goals in that team. But as long as like we'll play a bit more attacking, got another body up top, like Almiron in the hole, and Maxi out wide with either whoever it is, Lazaro, Joelinton, Richie, whoever it is. Like I think as long as he's got more bodies around him to help him out, I think he'll be a lot better. And yeah, without the crowd pressure, I think he will be a lot better player. But now you're saying like these games have seemed like,
I've had some dodgy food the day I've been ill all day. Did that come through the headphones, did it? I thought I was going to get away with that.
Yeah. No, I didn't get away with that one, sunshine.
I had some dodgy scram the day.
Yeah, what I'm about to lead on to is pointed out by this question, will Newcastle play better without the crowd? Like, yeah, quite possibly. But what would you said? Like, it seems like it seemed like pre-season friendly. This was my worry about bringing football back. Like, because I watched like the only Bundesliga game I really watched was Bayern Munich and Dortmund, which should have been a huge European spectacle. 2 of the best teams in Europe going head to head. And honestly, I fell asleep during the first half. Woke up in the second, and I was just thinking, this is dry. This is shit. Like from what should have been one of the greatest games in Europe, I thought it was really, really poor. And
especially when the players have come back from 100 days off, and now they've had the home programs that they're going to be doing. They've had a couple of friendlies now, warm-up games, but it'll be a couple weeks before we see players really get back into the stride. And I don't think Newcastle will play better without a crowd, because you think of the games at home, where we've won this year, have been a lot of last-minute goals, and that's been the crowd urging them on. I remember Miggy's against Palace. I remember Fernandes was against Southampton. Shelby against Man City. I think it's going to...
we are a 12th man.
I think it's going to be a lot harder for Newcastle, especially next weekend, for example, in the FA Cup against Man City without a crowd. Very slim chance now. Slimmer than we already had. Slim and Will.
I think after watching that Sheffield and Villa game, I still think we'll do all right. Like we did our predictions at the weekend. That video's out now. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Predicting all the games that are left to play. But yeah, after watching that, who are our next 2 games, Sheffield United and Aston Villa, I'm still a bit quite confident. As I mentioned in that video, I think we should get 6 points. I think 4 would be great. But like all we really need to ensure our survival is about 5-6 points, really. I think we could have them after the first 2 games, and then the pressure's off. So I think we just really need to go for it. Like, go for the neck. Make sure we get at least 6 points. So our first 4 or 5 games are all right, aren't they? After them 2, we've got Bournemouth and West Ham. few games where we could really, really pick up points, and if we can just go out and get 5-6 points in the first few games, pressure's off. So when we come to play like Man City, Tottenham, and Liverpool, don't really need to worry about it too much. I think should be well safe by then.
All right.
A couple of similar questions, which we've kind of already touched upon. As you can imagine, most of the questions are about the takeover. Alex Boston, do you think the Saudis will be approved? George Walters, what's your thoughts on the takeover? Kind of just mentioned all that.
I think the thought. I mean, will it get approved? I don't think the verdict was that damning yesterday. Really, there was no direct links to PIF in terms of the Saudi piracy, but obviously BN Sports and whatnot are still trying to push it. But what we're hearing and we've heard today again is that they're not really going to fail the owners and directors tests through that and through who's going to be representing the club. So hopefully we'll get some good news next week. But how many times have we said that now?
I know. What else we got? What do you think the best signing would be? It's obviously
takeover or no takeover?
Well, yeah, that's going to be the best signing. Who's going to be the fucking owner?
It's got to be a striker now. It's got to be that number 9. I mean, you just said before, Joelinton's not a £40 million striker. He's a £40 million player. Well, he's not that either, really, is he? But he's not a striker. We need that striker. We need that natural goal scorer. I was looking at the Premier League goal scorers, top goal scorers this season. Danny Ings in there at 5th, 15 goals for Southampton. Yeah. Natural goal scorer. It shows what a goal scorer can do for them. Imagine if we had him in the side, we'd be pushing top 6, top 8. So, first protocol is a number 9. With or without the takeover, I'd probably look at that Edward from Celtic. I think that'd be a decent signing.
Yeah, we've been linked to him. I think he's been linked with a few teams actually. I think there's maybe it's Arsenal. I seen something on Twitter the other day saying that quite a few Premier League teams are after him, Newcastle included. I think he'd be a good player. Oh,
David Luiz gave away a penalty.
I think he was on the bench.
David Luiz. No,
in the second half.
He was at fault for the first goal. No, David Luiz.
No, was he? He's absolutely gashing.
He tried to put his knee in the way of like a through ball and just went directly to Sterling's path. But I'll watch it back. See if it was a penalty. His hands are all over Black Lives Matter, but Black Lives Matter took a dive. So we had Morris. It's he's got his hands on him, but Morris goes to ground easily, very easily actually. But number 9, that's what we need.
I've just been going through a FIFA season. I've signed Danny Ings. He was cheap as out, but mate, banging them in. He's got
is he already on FIFA? Is he?
In his first season, and he's got like 30 goals in the Premier League.
I've seen that Moussa Dembele from Lyon. He's minted now. Also former Celtic player. So,
Man United signed him on my career mode. I think he was like second top scorer in the league after behind Danny Ings. But I think like someone who's affordable, like you say, even if the transfer, if the takeover goes through, we've got plenty of people like we could sign who's affordable, like Morelos as well from up in Scotland, Edwards, Danny Ings, Callum Wilson. There's a bunch. I think Moussa Dembele might be a bit too expensive, particularly if we're not going to get taken over. I think
considering he's probably going to get European football in France as well.
Leon will be holding up for quite a big transfer on there.
Should be De Bruyne makes it 2-0.
Let me know how it goes.
Should be De Bruyne 2-0.
Oh, he scored. I thought you said it's going to be De Bruyne.
Chubby. Chub.
Big Chubby.
He's been putting on some of that COVID weight.
Hello to Dave from Whitley Bay. Oi.
Big up Dave. Whitley Bay, massive. Really good for New Year's night out there in the Keg, Whitley Bay.
Oh, fuck that. I'm not doing that again.
We did that a couple of years ago, and that nightclub's been knocked down now, hasn't it? That deep nightclub.
It should be.
Yeah, it has been.
It looked like it was knocked down when we were there. Fucking lifting.
£2, yes, Andrew Grange. Thank you very much, mate.
Hello, my son. Are you on about the hair? It's fucking lovely.
What's going on with the hair, okay?
It's gone purple this weekend.
Is it?
I bought it last weekend, but doing like the quiz and stuff. It's a little bit busy in that, you know what I mean?
That quiz dragged on.
I did a little bit, especially when people keep fucking shouting out the top of us.
Your can's out of date. All the cans are out of date as well.
We're all going to get back to the shop.
I got a fresh brown ale and doesn't run out till 2021, so have a bit of that.
Sure.
I'm going to put that out. I'm going to put it away now because my belly's killing. I can't even drink that in a minute.
Renty's got the virus.
Oh, I've got something.
What about a shout out?
Renty, where's a shout out to my man Angry Grinch? I just said it. Just give one. Lucas, you remember though? Appreciate it, mate. Just that.
Yeah, boy. People heard that fart like.
Oh, either way, I didn't think they did. I thought they must have blacked out. I can't, honestly, I've been in bits the last few hours. I've been ill.
Your guy Andrew Grange is telling you to get that FIFA back. What's the crack with that? Like, as a comeback or what?
I'll come back once Takeover's done. I didn't want to start signing fucking Ronaldinho and that. I mean, bringing Ronaldinho.
Get Ronaldinho out of prison.
Get Ronaldinho out of prison. The Ultimate 11. Classic World 11. Bring him out. No, I didn't want to start signing Mbappe when Ashley's going to still be here in August, you know. To be fair, I'll bring it back. Once it does happen.
Even I'm missing them, man. I do like to see that he's uploaded a good FIFA. How will this affect our status as everybody's second favourite club?
Will now be everyone's first hated club over Man City. Because Man City have been there, done it. It's expected of them now. When someone else comes to town, there's a new boys who are taking over the likes of Arsenal and Spurs, who've got aspirations, who have been trying to do something for years. When we come in and steal their thunder, and Arsenal are constantly playing Europa League and no more Champions League, they'll fucking hate we.
We had all the Saudis and stuff on Twitter and that saying I'm a Newcastle fan now. Just kind of jumping on the bandwagon a little bit, but I suppose at least it's following that country and that, supporting that countryman. There's so many Saudi mags now. It's fucking hell. Like everybody in Saudi Arabia over the last few weeks has become a Newcastle fan.
All those Twitter handles with the flags on and fucking.
But this is the exposure that it could bring. If you look at who's the wealthiest team in the world, it doesn't really matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's Man City or Real Madrid or whoever. Whoever's got that title, it's going to bring interest. But especially if they're going to build for a future, they're going to pump millions and billions into the team and potentially be a future Champions League winning side, Premier League winning side. Football fans all around the world are going to be interested in that team, whoever it is. So it's pretty cool that we've had that interest over the last few weeks. And if everybody in Saudi Arabia or America or Russia, China want to start supporting the toon, fucking welcome. It'd be class.
Well, yeah, because that's what you need. You need to be a big club. You need that exposure. You need to be a global brand. You know what I mean? You've seen it with Man United and kit deals, and that's what will long last a club with revenue and big kit deals and that. So you need it really. You just don't want Newcastle to turn into when you go to Old Trafford though, and not any of them are from Manchester. You've got all the Asian fans, you've got African fans, you've got all the Cockneys, you've got everything. Do you know what I mean? The best thing about Newcastle is when you go to St James's Park on a match day and it's 52,000 passionate fans walking up the stadium and in and around the ground. Can't beat it.
Aye, definitely. Is it time to cut ties with Callback and Sivey? Absolutely.
It was 5 years ago.
Do you think Newcastle should bring back Jethro Williams and play Richie a bit part player? In terms of the dead weight, particularly if we get a takeover, there's so much dead weight that needs to go through that door.
A lot. Even players who are on the verge. I mean, Newcastle's last game, Dwight Gale started up front. He needs to go on for me anyway. He's not good up in the Premier League.
Yeah. Everyone people rate Dwight Gale, and I do rate Dwight Gale. I don't hate him. But
you don't remember that turf miss when we went down to Burnley in the piss and snow and he missed from fucking 2 yards out?
He's hat-trick.
Gale's shite.
His hat-trick of chances in the first half of against Southampton, the last game. It's not good enough. I think it'll be a win-win for three parties. One, for Newcastle to cash in on him because his value is meant to be 12 to 15 million, which, to be fair, is a fair price. I'd be happy with that. So
it's worth it though for a championship club because in the championship, Gale is Shearer. In the Premiership, he's Riviere.
So that's what I'm saying. There's three parties that can benefit from this. One, Newcastle getting about 15 million for him. Two, his new team, if it's a championship team, they're going to get a 20-goal a season striker, Neighbour. And three, for Dwight Gale, where he's going to go and be a starter, a regular, a number 9, who's going to be banging in 20 goals a season. So it's great for all parties. I would keep him at the toon if he's going to be a 5th or 6th choice striker, literally playing one fucking League Cup game a year.
I'd keep him if he's happy to play in the League Cup, but I don't think he would be.
Yeah, exactly. I don't I don't wish that upon him because he seems like a kind of bloke. He's a decent enough player. I don't want him to like rot in the reserves. If he's going to move on and have a good career elsewhere, I'd wish him the best of luck. To be honest,
I'd like to see him go. I'd like to see him go just at Leeds, somewhere like that. Get Leeds back in the Premiership. Lovely away day. Dwight Gale, I think, would be a perfect fit for them.
Yeah, he'd be brilliant now.
But in terms of, go ahead.
What are your thoughts on Muto? I'm seeing a lot of people saying like he still hasn't been given a chance in that. Like, sorry, like, I'm done with Muto, mate. Like,
I'm done with him now because it's the same as Saive, really. I mean, well, when I've seen Saive play, he's looked all right, especially
exactly.
with that goal against West Ham. But I think with Muto, obviously on the training ground, he's doing now because he would be getting a chance.
Exactly, yeah.
If Gale's getting a chance, and Brucey, to be fair to him, is give youngsters a chance in the cup. You think of Tom Allen, who came on and got the assist for Joe at Rochdale at home. Why is Tom Allen coming on and Muto's not coming on?
Exactly, yeah. Like loads of people saying like he's unproven, he hasn't been given a chance, but he's been here for 2 years. He's had a couple of injuries. He's done well in League Cup games and pre-season friendlies and stuff. But why do you think he hasn't been given a chance? Like you say,
he looked alright in that pre-season friendly. Like his movement was good, but he still didn't really have a cutting edge.
Pre-season friendlies and cup games against League One opposition, he's alright, but he hasn't been given a chance just because he's just not good enough. Like you say, like why hasn't he been given a chance? He's been getting training. He hasn't had that many injuries. Like he's had a bit of time on the sidelines, but like when he's fit, he rarely makes the match day squad. Why do you think that is?
Exactly.
Like, just simply just not good enough for me. Like if he's another one who I would consider similar to Dwight Gale, like I think he's a decent player. Like I'd keep him in the squad for depth, but I wouldn't really want to see him more than fucking twice a season. Like if we get a decent price on him, might as well just cash in and like stop wasting a squad spot that could go to someone worthwhile who's actually going to compete for a starting spot.
I think in terms of Jack Colback as well, like, I mean, how that bloke's still here is beyond me. Like it's because Neil up his wages to get rid of him, is it? I mean, he's had a spell. He's had a couple of loan spells. He was an awful signing for me. I never understood that signing. And
I think he was out in the championship. Like that season, we're in the championship. I felt like he's a decent enough championship player, but like we got promoted 3 years again.
You know, well, exactly.
Why is he still here?
All of these players that are still here, we just talked about Dwight Gale. Like we said, Dwight Gale's class in the championship.
Yeah.
Look, I mean,
why do you think we still haven't got Grant Hanley? You know what I mean? Like we've got too many.
He's
players
still playing in the Premier League. He's playing for Norwich.
He's the fucking captain or something.
Whereas I don't think Colback will get a game for anyone in the Premiership, including Norwich.
No.
But, I think Williams. I'd love to see Williams back. Danny Rose hasn't hit it off for me. It's going to be interesting to see what he's like when he comes back when he's hopefully shed a few pounds. Yeah. But Williams was class, man. I loved Williams. He fell in love with us as well. He got the connection with the fans. Yeah.
He wanted to come.
He chipped in with some mint goals. He's bombing down that side. He was starting to get a great link up with St. Maximin. Unfortunately, his injury. So I'd love to see him back.
I definitely want to keep Williams because you say he is top class. I'm sure we can buy him for about 8.5 million or something, which is an absolute bargain for him. Yeah. I think if we were going to try and get Danny Rose from Tottenham, we'd have to pay like 19-20 million. When Williams is potentially twice the player and less than half the price. So it's an absolute no-brainer. I'd want to get a bit more backup in there. I'd like to see like a young, like up-and-coming talent left back to come in and like fight for his place because I don't think...
Stanley Insocki.
Yeah, Stanley Insocki. There's a few.
We'll be linked with him for about 5 years and all now.
You know, like that links on with that question as well. Richie, a bit pot player. Like, I don't think Richie's a good enough left back. I don't think Paul Dummett is. I quite like the kid at Brentford here, Rico Henry. He's like 21-year-old left back from Brentford. Rapido. I've signed him on.
Rapido.
I signed him on FIFA to be Williams backup on there. But I've seen an article from The Athletic. Like they were like trying to like build like a toon squad, like pending a takeover, and like they recommended Rico Henry. He's decent player, only 20 years old, 21, and Brentford's having a mid-season in the Championship, aren't they? Like they're fighting for promotion. So
Richie, I would definitely keep around as a bit power player though. Comes in handy if you do get injuries because he can play in several positions.
Yeah,
love his passion.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a captain, and he's got like that mentality. And I think like we haven't got many leaders. Like without Lascelles, Richie's the only one who's actually going to tell people what the crack is.
Yeah.
Shout out 100% Mags.
Hello, mate.
Where am I going? I've lost a question. There we go. This is a good one. Who would your choice of manager be if the takeover happens?
Pochettino. Pochettino, I'd have to go with Pochettino. Something young, something new, something fresh. As much as I'd love to see Rafa come back and start what he finished, and he's got the CV to match where we want to be because we want a quick trophy. Just to get rid of that whole 50, 60-year wait. But Pochettino, I think, could be one for a future. The worrying thing for me, though, is how he keeps on banging on about Spurs. How he wants to go back to Spurs one day. He's got a love affair with Spurs. But if you offer him the money, you tie him down on a 5, 6-year deal, going to play attractive football. He's one of the hottest properties in management in Europe now at the minute.
Yeah.
I think he'd be a perfect fit for Newcastle where we are as well. You see the build job he did at Southampton first and then Spurs. Class, man.
Question, yeah, best Newcastle 11 ever. I'm sure we've done a video on that, so again, check that out because I can't really think off the top of my head at the minute. Too much going on.
We have done a video on that, so check it out.
Not seeing many more questions really in here. There's a lot of people just contributing to the takeover. Thoughts on Joelinton, thoughts on Paul Dummett.
I can read them now. It doesn't pop up, but I can go in here and read them.
Oh, really?
Cavalier is so shit. Yes, he is.
Absolutely.
Just seeing the comments on the apartment. Fantastic. Oh, I like that one there about
like a soundboard.
I'd want us to bribe Gareth Southgate. You fancy a bit of Gareth in the toon, do you?
I wouldn't. Let
him carry on what he's doing with England, man.
Yeah.
I think Southgate's a much better manager for England. I think he gets it, being there, done it as a player, wants revenge for the penalty miss and whatnot. He came close the other year, even though I think we should have done better. We should have won that game against Croatia and should have got the final. But we'll see how he gets on the Euros next year on his home soil. You've got to let him go ahead and do that first before you try and get him into club management.
Definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Southgate coming to Newcastle, but I don't know. He just kind of suits the England role, wasn't he? I remember there was question marks about him when he got the England job. I wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. I thought it was a terrible appointment. But he proved he was class. He had buzzing during the 2018 World Cup, and he's still got a job to do. He's building a good squad. He's got a lot of young lads coming through, like Alexander-Arnold and Wan-Bissaka, like Grealish,
Sancho,
Maddison, Sancho. He's got a great team upcoming. Just depends how long he's going to be there to see it through. I don't really think he's been in the job for quite a while now. He's been a good few years. England managers don't really seem to last that long, so I feel like his time won't be there for much longer. But in terms of
depending on what he does next year.
Yeah, but in terms of for Newcastle, I don't know. I just don't really think he would fit the bill. He never really settled into club management, did he? He did all right at Middlesbrough, but
he didn't.
That was as far as he got, really, wasn't he? So I think I would rather go for whoever else we've been linked with, like Pochettino, Rafa, Nagelsmann, whoever, the Ajax manager. I think I'd rather take any of them over Gareth Southgate, to be honest. Not to say I don't like Gareth Southgate, but I just think he fits England well, and I just don't think he suits club football well. So, yeah. If he was on the shortlist, I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't really be opposed to getting him. Best away fans at St James's this year?
That's a tough one. I have to think of that. Not the Rochdale ones. Remember the Rochdale in the spoons before we went to the ground? They were half of them. Those, when I think of away fans, those are the first ones that come up. The proper awful cringy chants, shite crap, bunch of gypsies,
proper shameless.
Shameless, awful. They were alright when we were down there. Actually, the couple that we bumped into when we were at Rochdale. Yeah. Them fucking weirdos that were in and a couple of hundred of them and awful crap. Best ones though, do you know what it is? Man United. I said before, horrible at home, but away, at our place, they pack it out and they make some noise. So. I don't know if they're the best. I don't know if they're the best though.
I absolutely hated but I suppose that's kind of like a good thing because they were noisy and just didn't shut the fuck up, which was why they were so annoying, and that was Leicester. Like,
True.
I think in
Probably because
both
all
games,
battering went on, they had a lot of singing boots.
I think in both games in the League Cup where they just scraped through, we got beat on penalties. Like during that game, they were noisy, but on was it New Year's Day or the day after New Year's Day when we did get pumped when everyone went off injured before half time, like they were just didn't shut the fuck up, and like we're already like depressed, like fucking losing, had down to 10 men, everyone was injured, and like it was just grim, wasn't it? But they didn't shut up, and they had that awful chant where like I think Dubravka was getting take a goal kick, and they were like, your shit.
That was minging.
That was horrible and cringy. But like, you know, at least they had like chance. At least they didn't shut up. Like, that's why they were annoying. I think if you're losing and you're getting annoyed by the away fans, that kind of means that at least that chanting, at least having a good time in that. Like, so yeah, I'd give a shout out to the Leicester fans.
Oh, they've got that board up here as well at the Etihad, the TV screens behind the goals with like fans live on Zoom and shit.
The fucking City fans can't even fill out their board.
Can they not out? Just get a glimpse of it there.
There's only about 12 squares or something. There's Premier League badges in about 4 of the squares.
Jesus Christ.
Can't even get people to get on Zoom. Left and correct.
Whoa. Any more?
Apparently we're as famous as Kanye West.
I wish I had Kanye's money, I'll tell you that thing. I'd buy the toon if I had Kanye's money.
And shit. Yeah. Favorite own goal.
What? Favorite own goal. Oh, favorite own goal.
Oh, Phil Jones.
Which one was that?
Against the Toon, 3-0, the last goal.
Oh, right, aye.
That was horrendous, I didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Do you remember that when he just ducked his head in? Like, De Gea came for the ball and he just ducked his head in and just put it past him. Like,
Phil Jones, man, he never knows what he's doing. The one that comes to mind for me, I can't remember who it is, though. It was against, like, Sunderland did it. So the player just, instead of passing it back, he just lobbed it over his own keeper and just sent it.
Was that not... Did he not score 2 own goals in that game?
I think so, aye.
I remember Markham scored like 2 own goals in the first like 10 minutes.
He was like that foreign player with long hair, maybe Turkish or something, I don't know, but that's the one that sticks out for me. I wonder who's ever scored the most own goals for Newcastle.
That's a good question. I'm sure it's Richard Dunn in the Premier League, innit?
Aye. Because we had that thing on the quiz, didn't we? Where what was it, Mike Williamson in the
against Stevenage,
who scored the own goal.
You've already done a little video about this, but any update on Matty Longstaff's contract?
I was having a pep with him last night. He said he was staying.
I said how Renty. I'm gonna sign that contract in a.
What? And the pep is with you, there's Matty, ginger hair. He says, how Renty, what you been doing? I said, no, what's Matty and I just working? He says, oh, cushy. Just let everyone know I'm staying, mate. All right. I says, all right, mate, will do. I'll see you tomorrow. And had him on Snapchat before. He says, he's staying, like, injured apparently. And that was all obviously made up. Injured before. Injured, apparently he's got one of them injuries. Yeah. Serious one.
One of them coincidentally timed injuries, is it?
One of them can't feature in a warm-up game because I'm injured. I think it's the same as because
I'm learning Italian.
Because I'm learning Italian. I'm cooking dolmio. It's a dolmio day. But I think it's the same as why the fans haven't had the season ticket renewals, refunds. Yeah, even because Mike Ashley was banking on being out of tune by now, and he was hoping that the new owners would pay for all that, including Matty's new contract. So he's had lucrative offers from abroad. We'll just have to wait and see again. It's all a waiting game. The game we should hear in the next fortnight for everything. But will we? Probably not. Nope,
probably not. We touched on this in a video that we did the other day as well. Where do you think we'll finish? I think we predicted around about 13th this year.
Exactly where we are right now, 13th.
Yeah.
With 45 points.
Yeah, I think we should be able to get like about 10 more points at least, 12 maybe. But I like judging by everyone else around us, it's pretty close. So yeah, we'll probably not really go up much in terms of the league, but points is all that matters really.
Damn right, just get that safety and get the takeover, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah, well, the scrum damage. Paul Dummett has 2 own goals.
Can't remember that. Like,
Jim Bob says best goal of the season, best away goal. Best goal of the season has to be. We've just been talking about him, Matty for me. Matty against Man United.
Oh yeah, that was lovely. That like.
And then away goal, Joelinton, baby. At
Tottenham. Oh,
at Tottenham, because that was just an amazing day.
Aye, right.
Those are my 2 off the dome.
Matty's goal away to Man United. Away to Man United was a good one. To be fair,
that was scenes as well. Because we did take the lead with that, didn't we?
Yeah, I went 1-0 up.
I got fucking beat 4-1 or something.
I should have known better from the season before. Went 2-0 up at half time.
Yeah, nah. There's someone else here. Jamie Ledbetter watching the Man City game. Can you get that question up?
Yeah.
Be honest, we're going to get pumped in the FA Cup. It'll be hard to watch.
Still 2-0, is
it? Probably 2-0. I've got 2-2 on, so I need a quick turnaround. Where's Aubameyang at? Like, where's like a blood clot Zet?
Lacazette was on the bench, when Aubameyang started with Saka and Nketiah up top.
I haven't seen Arsenal really. Oh, Lacazette, he's on now. They're having a little water break. 15 minutes left.
We've got 2 games against Man City, one in the league, one in the cup. So I don't know. I think it just depends how we're doing, because we've got all these games coming up in quick succession, and usually
we've only got 2 before next Sunday. Next Sunday is the FA Cup game.
Usually we don't really fare well about that. Like, remember when over the Christmas period, had loads of injuries, just too many games coming up. Like, that was when Willems got fucked, Dummett did, Shaw, where like a bunch of players just couldn't hack the winter pace. So they've had time to recuperate now, so hopefully they should be in good form. Hopefully they've been working hard on the training pitch to get their fitness up and going. But I think we've got the FA Cup game first, and then the league game is only about a week and a half later or something like that. Isn't it?
But the obviously the big one's next Sunday, the FA Cup quarter-final, St James's Park. I think, honestly, originally scheduled for a Saturday night, everyone would have been on the lash all day. The stadium would have been bouncing, and now it's on a Sunday. No fans there. It's going to be really, really difficult. Like, whether we get pumped or not, I never know. I don't think we'll get humiliated. Hopefully not. But either way, I've got to be brutally honest. I cannot say we're getting through right now.
Yeah, I think we'll hold our own. Like, I don't think we'll get pumped. I think as long as we get them a good game, like, even if we get beat by a single goal, like, it's better than that. You know what I mean? Like, it is Man City on that day that capable of pumping anybody 5-6-0. But I think we can do all right. Particularly at home, we've got a decent enough record. Like, we've drew and won the last 2 games at home.
Aye.
What's your favourite game you've ever been to?
I'm just reading these. Titus Bramble for a thingy. Favourite Newcastle game I've ever been to? Oh, Jesus. For me, it's probably an away game. It's probably Fulham or Spurs away. Last year, Fulham.
Yeah,
last year Fulham or Spurs this year. Both unbelievable trips, unbelievable weather, class days all around from start to finish.
Especially sunny, weren't they?
The Fulham one, to be fair, because it was proper unique, just being on the boat through the River Thames, on the way to the ground, old school ground, Craven Cottage, just class atmosphere, and we actually got to see Newcastle hammer someone, not the other way around. So I'd have to say Fulham, me like.
Yeah.
And at home, probably a UEFA Cup game when I was pretty young. Back in the day, UEFA Cup game level 7. Well, class nights as well, class atmosphere.
Here's an interesting one that I've thought about lately. Would you give Andy Carroll a contract extension?
Do you know what it is? He's been so
I'd be
influential now
inclined
when
to
he
say
has been fit.
aye.
When he has been fit, I mean, you think of obviously Sheffield United away, how classy he was there, how he bullied them. It was a Palace that came off the bench. A couple of games at home where he came off the bench and made a huge difference. It's obviously, as we know, like how many games he's going to play because he hasn't played many forward now. So see how he gets on the last 9 games of the season, to be fair. And then if we can keep him on a contract that he's on at the minute is very cheap to pay as you play. I mean, he's only on 20 odd grand if he doesn't play any. So in football terms, it's an out. So if you can tie him down to that, if he does well in the last 9 games, then I keep him. If he barely plays, barely makes an impact, get rid.
Yeah, like, I'm a fan of Carroll. Like, I think he'd be a great player to have in the dressing room. Like, he's a Geordie, which I think is a huge thing. But he's experienced and he's had an up and down career. Like, he's been young and dumb as well. So I think he'd be a great mentor for like the younger players. Like he was a bit of a party boy who was going out in Newcastle getting chained every weekend. He's got to be fucking 5 kids or something now. Like he's matured. I'm sure he's a bit more level-headed. Like the injuries and the unfortunate career that he's had, I think he could really help a lot of the younger lads. So I think he'd be great to have in the changing room. And you've seen the games that he's played this season. Like when he's been on the pitch, he's gave his all for a player who everyone thinks is a dinosaur. He's got no strength, no fitness, or anything like that. He was getting back a lot. He was
remarkably quick.
Yeah, he was filling in at full back, at centre back, on set pieces. He was out of the shop. He was running down the wing. He was getting on his head at the back post and stuff. Like he's got a lot to offer, and people forget because he's been injured for so long. People forget he is actually a decent player. So yeah, I think if he can stay fit and he can play a few more games, then I'd definitely keep him around. Like I know he's not going to start week in week out, but I think he's a good player to have in the dressing room. So yeah, if we can sort him out another cheap contract, pay as you play, I wouldn't mind having him around. But it's similar to like Gale and Muto. Like he's just going to be another body. That's my only worry. He's going to be another body filling in a space in this 25-man squad that could go to someone who's actually really going to play and work hard to get into the starting lineup.
I'm gutted there's no fans for the last 9 games because I really wanted to see him score again in front of Gallagher.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling there could be a little fairy tale end in it for him before he leaves. Like, so hopefully next Sunday he gets the winner against Man City.
That'd be lovely.
Lovely stuff.
Would you like to see Kevin and Babu and Mikel Merino back at Newcastle playing alongside Sir Maximin and Almiron?
We should have never got rid of Mbabu. Should have got rid of Mbabu, especially we just said we struggle for the options in that position. I don't know why we got rid of Mbabu. What we've seen, he looked class. He's went on leaps and bounds now. Is he at Wolfsburg now? Or has he moved even from them?
No, he went to Young Boys, didn't he? And then
went to Young Boys, now he's at Wolfsburg.
Something like that, yeah.
Really decent player. Marino as well. I thought that was surprised because Marino was mint when he first signed. Wavered a little bit, and then he came back. So Marino was definitely a decent option to have in there. But at the minute, centre mids, if you keep the Longstaffs and that, Shelby Hayden, don't think you really need a Mikel Merino.
Yeah. Now, what I'll say about Mbabu is I think what only wrong. I don't know if we didn't do this. I'm not entirely sure how the contract played out, but we should have put in a buyback clause.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're right to sell him because I don't think he would have gotten a shot. Like I think like the Premier League's a hard league, and like you've seen the likes of Jadon Sancho kind of get a game and go abroad to get game time and then finally show what they can do. So I don't think Kevin Mbabu would be the player he was now if he stayed at Newcastle. I just don't think he would have been given much of a chance. He'd be still playing the reserves, maybe played a few games, rarely been given the chance to show what he really can do. So I think that move away and he started playing European football, he made a big name for himself. Was he playing the Champions League or Europa League?
Champions League,
Yeah, so he's made a good name for himself. So I think the move's done him really, really good, and he's become a fantastic player, playing in a top division in Europe, and he played in the Euros and the World Cup and that as well, didn't he? So yeah, we should have just put in a buyback clause. I think the choice to sell him was right, but we're wrong not to put in a buyback clause. If we didn't, I'm not really sure how it goes. If we did, then well done. But I can't really imagine Mike actually making a sensible decision like that.
Newcastle didn't make logical decisions like that. Not a chance.
Yeah, that's what we got. Great, being gone on 50 minutes there.
And I just looked at that, I couldn't believe it, because this is nearly over, this game.
Aye.
Well, unless there's any standout ones, that'll do, because we've done a long one there.
Yeah. That's just about as much as I can say.
But stay tuned. What's that?
Oh, no, I'm not. Nah, definitely not.
What's that against Man City? 5 at the back.
Maybe against Man City, I wouldn't mind that. But
I think that's what he must be on about.
Right, that's fair play then. But
nah, Keegan,
back.
entertain us. 3 at the back, see what happens. 3 at the back, see what happens, man.
I can't stand 5 at the back anymore.
Beat Man City at their own game, and Arsenal have tried to play defensive here, and they've got beat 2-0. I think that's kind of what happened in Newcastle. But to be fair, I think we did well against them when we got a 2-2 draw this year at St James's. So
yeah,
when Williams scored and obviously Shelby scored, that was a class game, and I'll be fair. Well, the goals were.
Great, we're gonna wrap that up then.
I will wrap it up.
Rapido.
Stay tuned. Obviously, Newcastle are back in action this Sunday. Sheffield United will have a live watch along similar to this. Live Geordie Box Day we did for the Southampton game. It's been a while since we've done one of them, so I'm looking forward to that. And then in the build-up, you'll probably be doing a predicted lineup, and then, like you say, on the match day, and we'll have the review to come out, the starting 11, and then we might have a couple of other things to come out as well. So
plenty to come.
Plenty to come as Newcastle come back to action. So make sure you vote for as well. Background of this video. The awards closes midnight tomorrow night. Voting closes. Make sure you vote for us in the best club content creator category. Check the Instagram details on there, how to do it on there. You can do it on Twitter as well, but the link in the description as well. Nice and easy to do. It takes 2 seconds. We much appreciate it. Cheers for watching. See you later.